What's up, guys? There's a lot of news to get into, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. First, from Monday, I believe, we have so DraftKings was a tournament in Atlanta which decided to still have fans after the whole fiasco at the Adria Tour, and it obviously didn't go well with Tiafoe getting the coronavirus. The tournament was still continued and no one else got it, so that's a good thing, and that is all of the news there. And then, in tournament news, we have Madrid tournament director Feliciano Lopez. This tweet is basically saying that he talked to Nadal and he said that he will be coming to Madrid. Nadal retweeted this and saying, I will be there and I hope it will go well. But because of what the schedule is, Madrid the week after US Open, it obviously casts doubt into whether he will be playing the US Open. It doesn't seem very likely now, considering the state of the US. I doubt he wants to come. He wants to get that record tire with Federer the easiest way he can, and French Open is the best way to do that. Of course, US Open's field is going to be wide open, so it might be easier for that too. But he wants to do French Open most likely, and I hope he wins it. Now, more tournament news. We have Djokovic saying, I still don't know if I'll play the US Open. I certainly won't be playing in Washington, which is sad, or Cincinnati. My participation at Roland Garros is safe for now, and Madrid and Rome are also planned. So that also means he most likely won't be playing the US Open, which means the US Open, none of the big three, Federer is obviously not going to be playing, but this is the most wide open a Grand Slam field has ever been, and it would just be a shock, a flat out shock if absolutely no one knew who won the US Open this year. I mean, if Wawrinka wins, that's just sad. And if Murray wins and Cilic wins, I mean, I highly doubt that that's going to happen. But it would be amusing if nothing else. But we know one person who is most likely playing the US Open is Daniil Medvedev. He had a talk with Eurosport, and he's committed to the entire U.S. hardcourt circuit starting in D.C., which is funny because the way the rankings have been set up, he has very little amount of points at risk for this hardcourt season. So, but it's good that at least one top player is going to be playing this. And that is what has to be said on that. And then, the ATP released their revised rankings at the 22-month ranking scale, and it's going to operate in the best 18 results over 52 weeks. I mean, that's 22 months. And so this is gonna be the purposes were to provide flexibility and fairness to players across levels in parallel with the condensed number of points and the revised provisional 2020 calendar. Provide stability for players who cannot or prefer not to compete in 2020 due to health and safety. Provide a system that can adapt to further changes in the calendar if necessary. Reward players who perform well following the resumption of the tour in 2020. And retain the principle of defending tournament points week by week in 2021, maintaining player mobility in the rankings. A player cannot count the same tour level tournament twice in his best 18 breakdown. For example, the player who played the Mutua Madrid Open in 2019 and plays Madrid again in 2020 will count the better of those two results. So, say Djokovic is Djokovic won last year and he goes to the semifinals, he'll still be defending 1,000 points for next year because that was his better result of the two. Then we also have tour level tournament points added in 2020 that count in a player's ranking breakdown will remain on a player's ranking for 52 weeks or until the event in question is played again in 2021, whichever comes first, which I think is obviously the right thing to do. Then it also says the temporary changes to the ranking system have been made in consultation with the 4 Grand Slam tournaments and the ITF. Should the 2021 season be impacted by COVID-19, further adjustments to the ranking will be considered. So Djokovic, who is the head of the Players' Council. He had a big say in this. He said, "We discussed it in the council, and the decision was made because we wanted to protect the players that don't want to put themselves to risk and to travel. So I won't play until the end of 2020, and this way, the list protects them. They're not losing points. On the other hand, players who play will have a chance to earn new points. In this situation, I believe it was the best option." So I don't remember who it was, but there was some player ranked in the 200s, and he said that Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal have been in the top for a very long time. They've forgotten what it's like to be lower ranked, and it's a lot harder to make a living like that. And Federer has always been advocating for more money for the top players. Djokovic has been advocating for money for the lower ranked players, and I think that he showed that here. I think it's absolutely the right thing to do. It gives the lower ranked people the chance to win some money and get some points, so I think it's perfectly the right thing to do. Now, next, we have some Twitter wars with Kyrgios. First, we have Kyrgios versus Zverev. Zverev not saying anything at all, but as most of us know, he said that that he'll be going into self-isolation because of the fiasco at the Adria Tour. I mean, I think that's the only thing to do. He said he'll be following self-isolation guidelines, which has been 2 weeks, but 6 days after this was seen. Oh, wait, and Boris Becker said, "Stay safe and look after yourself and loved ones, my friend." So after 6 days after that was posted, this was seen. First thing I gotta find you. What's the grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Also hard, this shit crazy. Y'all don't know shit crazy. So that's obviously not a good look for Zverev. And I mean, even if he's not there, that's just way too many people to be gathered up in one place anyway. But there's just too many people there, and it's just irresponsible. And Kyrgios agreed with that, and he had this to say on his Instagram story.
Wake up and I see more controversial things happening all over the world. But one that stuck out for me was seeing Sasha Zverev again, man. Again. How selfish can you be? How selfish can you be? I mean, if you have the audacity to fucking put out a tweet that you made your management write on your behalf saying you're going to self-isolate for 14 days and apologizing to fucking general public putting their health at risk, at least have the audacity to stay inside for 14 days. My God. Have your girlfriend with you for fucking 14 days. Jesus, man.
So obviously not the best words to say there. I think a couple things to say is he shouldn't be driving and doing that. It is very irresponsible. But I think Zverev should be called out. No one seemed to be calling him out for it, and I think someone needed to do it. So Kyrgios did it, and I don't see any problems there. Boris Becker, on the other hand, he saw otherwise, because he tweeted out this. Boris Becker responded by saying, "Don't like no #rats. Anybody telling our fellow sportsman/woman is no friend of mine. Look yourself in the mirror and think you're better than us at New Kyrgios at Farfetch." Kyrgios responded to this by saying, "For goodness sake, Boris, I'm not competing or trying to throw anyone under the bus. It's a global pandemic, and if someone is as idiotic as Alex to do what he's done, call him out for it. Simple. We all live in the pandemic called hashtag COVID-19. It's terrible and it killed too many lives. We should protect our families/loved ones and follow the guidelines, but still don't like hashtag rats at Kyrgios." Rats for holding someone accountable? Strange way to think of it, champion. I'm just looking out for people. When my family and families all over the world have respectively done the right thing, you have a goose waving his arms around, I'm gonna say something. Boris Becker is a bigger donut than I thought. He can hit a volley, obviously not the sharpest tool in the shed, though. You're a funny guy. How is it down under? Respect all the guidelines? Haha, nah, bro. I'm good. Don't act like you're my friend now just because you got sat down. I really would like to see Nick Kyrgios fulfill his potential and win a slam. He'd be an incredible role model for the youth and the world addressing issues of equality, race, and heritage. Man up and deliver. Why are you not talking about tennis? It has nothing to do with tennis. How about the dude you're defending mans up and gives us some sort of explanation, not another management apology? Theme also responded to Kyrgios' comments saying it was his mistake, but I don't understand why a lot of people want to interfere. Kyrgios did a lot of mistakes himself. Would be better for him to come clean instead of criticizing others. It's just a stupid argument. Then Kyrgios responded by saying, "What are you talking about? Mistakes like smashing rackets, swearing, tanking a few matches here or there, which everyone does. None of you have the intellectual level to even understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to hold them accountable." I mean, the first half is just stupid. Not everybody tanks, not everyone smashes rackets. The second half is fine. Moving on, Wimbledon announced that they're going to be giving out prize money to players, which is nice. They said that 256 players who would have competed in the gentlemen's and ladies' singles draws will each receive £25,000. 224 players who would have competed in the gentlemen's and ladies' qualifying will each receive $12,500. And 120 players who would have competed in main draw doubles will each receive $6,250. In addition, this is the part that I really like. Wimbledon announced that the grass court seating formula is used for gentlemen's singles draw since 2002 will be discontinued beginning in 2021. The seating will be based solely on the FedEx ATP rankings, which I think should have always been done. I believe each slam at each tournament at each the levels should be played the exact same way. I don't like that the 4 slams have different ways to end the 5-set match. It is what it is, though I can't do anything about it. Then we have this to finish it off. And this person tweeting, "Everyone just needs to appreciate how funny this is. Saying, hey, it's Andy Murray here. Can I borrow your credit card so I can buy a new tennis racket?" And then this Andy Murray fellow has 3 followers. And Tennis TV posted this picture on Instagram. And then Tennis TV absolutely obliterated this follower, saying, this person said, "That's obviously not Murray." And Tennis TV replied saying, "Yes, of course, we thought Andy Murray had 3 IG followers and needed money to buy a new racket." Just complete obliteration. So that's it for today's episode. Please like the video, subscribe, and goodbye.